Emerging.
Copy, ground. You have Victor's 1, watching from the nose cone.
Stars blinking out of sight. First steps in space we say, but feels like a charade. Lights and wires everywhere, on a stage beyond compare. Gravity a distant thought, was this moment store-bought? Is this real or fantasy? Walking in a galaxy, lost in cosmic reverie. Dreams turned into parody. Footprints on the moon's face, questions we can't erase. Cameras at every turn, truths that we patiently spurn. Silent void, a grand display. Lines that blur and lead astray. In a vacuum, tales are spun underneath an artist's sun. Is this real or fantasy? Walking in a galaxy, lost in cosmic reverie. Dreams turned into parody. Is this real or fantasy? Walking in a galaxy, lost in cosmic reverie. Dreams turned into parody. Dreams turned into parody. Dreams turned into
Yeah, okay, I made a mess. Yeah, I'm just playing with things just now. So I should be streaming on both YouTube and let's get rid of that echo in case you're getting it. I should be streaming on both YouTube and Twitter at the moment. Out on both. Good God. Although YouTube is moaning, but it still seems to be working. So we'll let it run just now. You can tell me how things are. I take it you can hear me. Yeah, there's no rabbit hole tonight. One, I've been working on Cult of UFO videos, and I've got probably one coming out tomorrow or Saturday, and then another one Sunday or Monday. Saturdays is Skinny Bob, which will be, or Friday, Saturdays is Skinny Bob. That should be quite good. And Mondays is all about our favourite whistleblower, Mr. Lou Elizondo. So, yeah. If you can hear me on Twitter, feel free to right, I'm learning here because I've got Twitter open, but I can't see it says the chat is available to my subscribers if you're on Twitter. How does one get to the chat though? Oh, right. Okay, maybe that. I don't know. Oh, I look like I'm live on Twitter. I'll just type in something. So I think I'm on, right, I think I'm on Twitter as well as YouTube. Right, anyway. It's bloody phrasing, isn't it, people? Phrasing. Tell you. It's not nice. Anyway, as I was saying, Cult of UFO should have out the 2 videos over the next 3 to 4 days, I would think. You loved my squirrel vid. What squirrel vid? Oh no, that must be somebody else's. You guys in the chat are yakking to each other now. So I did notice that Robin said that he'd been telling Skyrim AI that they were in a simulation and he was offering them an escape. I'd be interested in that. Robin, how did you get on? I've seen a guy on YouTube doing that, but I don't think it's Skyrim. I think it's something else. But it does seem a bit strange because some of the AI does seem to be quite, I use the word intelligence loosely, but it does seem to pick up on the fact that it is in a simulation, which is a bit odd, but they must have programmed it that way. So, what shall we talk about tonight? What do you want to talk about, people? Give me some topics. Let's see what we can delve into. Meanwhile, what I will tell you about is Formula One. That's crazy. This guy in charge of it, Mohammed bin Salman or whatever, has fired the race director with 3 races left to go and appointed someone else new. And then he's made some changes to the cars, which is fine. The car thing, I think, is fine because he's trying to stop them cheating. Because some of them apparently been putting extra strong frames around their planks, which they really shouldn't be doing. If you're into Formula One, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you're not, this will go straight over your head. But more to the point is the GPDA, the Grand Prix Drivers Association, headed up by George Russell, wrote him a letter saying they weren't happy with the way things were going and the way he was running stuff. And he's not come back to them at all. He's just completely dinghied them. And George is like, this is most irregular. I would expect some kind of response. He says, it's not hard to get a meeting with them, but actually getting anything done at the end of it is a complete nightmare. And you know why, George? Because, and I know people might be offended here, but I don't care. It's because he's an Arab, right? Because that whole neck of the woods down there, that whole subculture of being able to lie and not take any consequences for it is endemic in that area. The whole Indian subcontinent and the whole of the Middle East. It's standard practice if you've dealt with these people at all. They will tell you what you want to hear in order to make you go away and leave them alone. But 9 times out of 10, they never follow through with what they're meant to be doing. So that's Formula One, and George Russell's just understanding that some cultures are just completely different from the Western culture. And in fact, even the Western culture is a bit sporadic, isn't it? It's not all the same, I mean, because the Slavs are very different from us, and that can be seen by the amount of people that seem to be going, World War III will be started by appeasing Putin. Well, it wouldn't really, would it? Because if he was, going to take over the world and you appeased them, then he would either take over the world without a fight, or he wouldn't take over the world. Either way, there won't be a World War III if you appease them. So that's a nonsense statement. It's just a complete nonsense statement, and people seem to they do all sorts of weird mental gymnastics. Nobody's saying Putin's a good guy, but show me a world leader who is. That's the problem. There isn't a world leader that's a good guy, and do not say that guy in Argentina because he's dangerous. There's something weird about him. But then again, he's of Slavic background as well. He's not an Argentinian. He's not native to South America. So very, I just don't like the way that I don't like the way that people frame things when it comes to Putin and appeasing him, because they'd sat down at a table, they'd worked out a peace deal, everything was going fine, and then Bojo came along and said, "Oh no, we'll back you. Don't back down to him. We'll back you and get everything back." And that's working out really well, isn't it, Bojo? So now we've got Starmer talking about, allowing them to use Storm Shadow, which isn't allowing them to use Storm Shadow, it's us using Storm Shadow for them. So effectively we are now fighting Russia, which is an incredibly stupid thing to be doing. Incredibly stupid, in my view. We don't have an army. They've just said they're doing a review of the Navy, and yet I think they're just scrapping 4 ships straight away before they'd even started the review because they just can't afford them. I think they're amphibious landing ships, they're drone fleets. We don't have an army. Why are we it's like we're wandering about, with a big stick saying do this, do that, and we've got nothing to back it up. If the mob turn against you, there's nobody to back you up, Starmer. And when I say the mob, I mean the world. You're relying on tin pot nations in Europe, Estonia, Lithuania. Yeah, these places are corner shops. They don't have anything. They're not going to back you up. They'll talk a great game. Finland, yeah, watch out for the Finns, because remember, the Finns fought alongside Germany against the Russians in World War II. Yeah, and then they turned on Germany when Germany were getting beat. So I think the Finnish will they'll just jump on anyone that's winning, won't they? So really, I think the whole situation is a complete and utter nightmare, and I can't understand why we keep beating our chest when we have nothing to back it up. Absolutely nothing to back it up. Our army wouldn't even fill a football stadium. That's how small it is. And you talk about recruitment. Who's going to fight for you? Really? Who's going to fight? There's no national pride anymore, is there? And what little people that do have national pride, they won't constitute a great army. So yeah, I'm not too impressed. Right, what's the chat saying? Ray's related to Netanyahu, is he? How do you get? How you got snow and I don't? That's unfair. Says Beats and Tapes. Snowing again? No. There's one for you. The people that are burning snow. How absolutely stupid can you be? Right, so you know what snow is, yeah? Yeah? Frozen water. Yeah. So snow's frozen water. So these people take a handful of snow and put one of these plastic lighters against it with a yellow flame, right? That's the coldest flame you can get, which is burning inefficiently and producing a lot of soot, and goes, look, the snow's bubbling. Well, that would be some of the water turning to, that would be some of the frozen water turning to liquid water, and it's going black like plastic. That would be the soot from the flame. You people are stupid. Absolutely freaking stupid. And I will not, in fact, I've got to the point now that I am muting people that put stupid things on Twitter, because there's just no point. There's no point in trying to talk to these people. They are idiots. So who we got? And hello to the chat room anyway. I thought I'd come along tonight because, I miss you guys, and I sometimes feel you miss me, but I mean we got 13. It's not bad on YouTube. I don't know if I've got anyone watching us on Twitter. I have no idea how to what would you call, monitor it. I don't know what's happening on Twitter. I don't even know if people are talking to me. I can't even find my broadcast. Oh no, I can. I've got 13. All right, there. Oh, media could not be played. Oh, so it looks like Sergeant Grumpy's broadcast isn't working. Well, that's not so good. So if anyone's on Twitter and can see it, let me know. But according to this, it says I'm hosting live chat, but nobody can play it. Yeah, that doesn't work well, does it? And yet it had started. Yeah, I'm going to cancel that then. Sorry, people on YouTube's. Come to YouTube, I'll say. I'll send them a message. In case there's anyone there. So Twitter is crap. Absolute crap, because it's still using Periscope, which is like, how old is Periscope? I mean, really? Yeah. Right. Okay, I've stopped the Twitter stuff. That just didn't work. That was pants. So I'm not happy with that. That's pretty damn poor. Success. Broadcast ended. Oh yeah, very good, Twitter. That's an outstanding success. Right, where were we? Nice office. Thank you, Shalini. That's the UFO investigation office. Don't know what that is in the window. What's going on there? Is that a possible UFO? Anyway, where else are we? Let's see. What's happening? Who we got? Amy. Hi, Amy. Hi, Shalini. Hi. Oh, have I seen Jaguar's Bud Light moment? Yeah. See, they've hired the wrong person at the wrong time, because everybody seems to be moving away from woke. So Jaguar's going down the route that Bud Light is going, and Bud Light, have you seen the Bud Light advert that's poking fun at woke? So so Bud Light's trying to pull it back now. So there you go. Let's talk about you. Oh, well, I did talk a little bit about Ukraine, didn't I? So there you go. You had a little bit. Where are we? Who else we got? Jaguar. I think Jaguar's already on the path to going broke. Pretty sure Jaguar's owned by India now. Did Tata buy them? Anyway, whatever. Jaguar is owned by BMW and Land Rover. Is it? Is it? Let me just check that, because I thought India had bought Jaguar. Although, if it's Dreadeye, he should probably know, because he runs a garage, doesn't he? Ownership, Jaguar UK. No, fucking, that's pathetic. I want to know who owns the company, not wanting to buy a bloody Jaguar. People are stupid. Right, what company owns Jaguar? What company owns Jaguar? Who owns Jaguar? Tata. Tata. There you go. So, yeah, apparently Jaguar owns Tata. Tata owns Jaguar. Tata Motors. Yeah, Jaguar is owned by Tata Motors, but Jaguar and Land Rover is headquartered in Coventry, which is about 2 hours north of London. You can even, yes, okay. Yeah, but yeah, they're run by the Indians now. So that's, there you go. There you go. It's not, who's Paul? Hi, Paul. No Ed tonight. No, Ed is in disarray, apparently. Ed has the he has the painters on, which is apparently not a euphemism. And his stuff is all packed away because he doesn't want it covered in paint, which is fair. I mean, it's fair. He's being redirected. He's being redecorated. So I'm sure it's going to look lovely when he comes back on screen. So it won't be tomorrow either. I don't know. I might be doing it all on if you want. So he hasn't gone on vacation. He's in disarray. That's correct. So where are we? Gunky, Harold, how you doing? Yep. Matthew Blackman. John Prescott is dead, so that's right. 2 Jags. I remember that. Remember when he punched the guy as well? You would get away with that these days, would you? No, in fact, that Labour guy got done for it, didn't he? The one in the village. It's been redirected. Matthew says, maybe I just forgot. I don't know. Somebody forgot. Alzheimer's. Oh, he's great. Right, yeah, I remember that punch. It was a good punch as well. He wasn't hanging back. It wasn't a slap. It wasn't a Michael Tyson slap. Ooh. Yeah, he probably did. Saw the Jag advert and killed over. Yeah, that's quite a good joke, actually, Gunky. You should use that on Twitter. You could use some jokes. Sorry. I'm being a dick. But that's me, you know I am. So anyway, I'll give you an update on the fasting. I didn't weigh myself this morning because it was too bloody cold, and I got dressed before I weighed myself, and I thought, oh, I'm not taking all my clothes off to weigh myself again. So at the moment, it's an unknown quantity, but I had lost 14 pounds since Sunday. That's a shitload of water. Now, I knew I was carrying a wee bit of extra water because I had a little bit of edema in my legs, which is not a good thing to have. So that's all gone. That's completely gone. So dropping a stone, though, in 4 days is quite impressive. Even if I do say so myself. But yeah, I'll give you an update. I haven't eaten since Sunday around about 6, so that's what? Oh, that's going to be another, 80, that'll be about 96 hours at the moment. Yeah. No, I don't need to wrap the legs at all. I just need to actually get some exercise, Amy. Instead of sitting in front of a computer editing all day. That's really what I need to do. I haven't eaten since Sunday. I feel fine. Mentally, I'm fine. I have taken a little bit of that stuff called DSMO. Right? Someone suggested this to me. I think it was Natasha suggested this to me. It doesn't show up properly. Well, it's because it's got green on it and there's a green screen running. You thought I was really in this office, didn't you? But yeah, so I had a little bit of DSMO, which I put, 3 drops in a glass of water, and I put in a little bit of, just a half teaspoon of bicarbon, a cap full of, I should take those for a walk, and a cap full of vinegar, apple cider vinegar, with the mother. And I had that today as well, and my tinnitus has reduced, definitely reduced. What is it? Well, I think technically it's an industrial solvent, so I couldn't recommend it to anyone. But what you'd really need to do is you need to go and do your own research on it, because it's not something I can give you any information for on YouTube. Just can't do it. Yeah, it probably is, Ray, to a degree. No, I'm not trying to detox heavy metals in particular, Harold. I'm just trying to have a good clear out. I've had the purge today, so that's quite because I'm really looking for good gut health, and I don't think I've had it because I've been tasting too many cakes, which means too much sugar. So you've changed your flora and fauna in your gut, and you really, when you want to be on a carnivore or keto diet, you don't want bacteria that eat sugar. So you've really got it's a good thing to get a good clear out. 3 days is also putting you into autophagy, where you start to break down all the crap cells in your body and you start to get rid of them. And that's happened today. That it's never a pleasant experience, but you normally get it in about day 3 or 4, and then maybe again on day 8, if I remember correctly. The last time I did an extended fast. I don't know how long I'm going to go this time, but I don't think I want to go. What's the collating age? Oh, that's interesting, Harold. I don't think I want to go too far, but I do want to lose some weight as well. So this is also a good step. Oh, hi Gunky. You think the Twitter video was sharper than this? I don't think it was. I think the Twitter video is just in a smaller screen, unless you're watching it on a TV. But it stopped running for some reason. Or did it? Did it only stop when I stopped it? Because I'd like to know that, Gunky. If you were watching it, tell me if it ran up until I stopped it, or if it had stopped of its own accord before I mentioned it. That would be useful. Oh, it stopped when I stopped it. So it's terrible because it said to me that it couldn't be played. But that's great, right? So thank you, Gunky. That means the next time I do it, I could probably go on Twitter again. Because the CPU is sitting at 0.4%. It's not exactly struggling. I'll maybe tweak the settings on it, but there shouldn't really be much difference between that and YouTube. YouTube does use a bit of compression, certainly, but I'm pretty sure Periscope does as well. In fact, Twitter's pretty horrible on compression. It normally drops everything to 720. Drops all the videos I put up to 720. You sent a screen grab to my Twitter. Thank you, Gunky. It was set to subscription only, so couldn't chat. Oh, right. That's what's wrong. Right. Yeah, the dogs are all right, shouldn't they? No, that's quite useful information, Gunky. Thanks. As I said, it's a learning process, people, and I think I've done it once before on Twitter, and I know what's his name, Ben, used to do it all the time, but I'm not a great fan of. I wasn't a great fan of broadcasting on Twitter, but since I've got a blue tick, I thought I might as well try and make some money off it. But getting 5 million impressions in a month is a big ask. Is a big ask. Because I'm on Twitter quite a lot, and you got to hit them right. Although I did get quite a lot of impressions out of the NAFO squad yesterday when I wound them up. I do like to wind up NAFO, and they even put me on lists. I haven't been on the list for ages. I was on 3 lists this morning when I woke up, and I thought, yes, I'll just bin them. So. To get yourself off a list, you just block the people that put you on it. So you just go into the lists you're on and then block them. You need more movie reviews. Yeah, I was actually watching a movie there. 65, I think it was, Adam Driver. Wasn't going well. I didn't particularly like it. Very American acting. I mean, without trying to spoil it, if you're going through a cave and something caves in and you get sealed off, what literally is the point of throwing yourself against piles and piles of rock screaming, "No! No!" I mean, would you not be better standing back and going, bugger, let's see if there's a way we can fix this? Or am I just being too British? I don't know. But yeah, I've never seen the point in throwing yourself at something and it's like, chill out, people. Chill out when things go wrong, because usually you can fix them. And if you can't, what's the point in worrying about it? Because nothing you can do about it anyway if you can't fix it. It's like, say you were standing here and you saw the bright flash of dropping nuclear bombs in the distance, what would you do? I mean, you just look at them and go, I knew it. I bloody knew it. Because there's no point running about like a headless chicken, is there? He does, Gunky. That's a very apt description of driver, I would say. Have I never chucked anything against a wall? No, not really. I punched a wall once when I was very young and was full of testosterone and anger. But I've really calmed down a lot since then. I mean, you think about it. What's the point? What's the point of throwing something against the wall, especially if you're in your own house? Because you just got to go and clean it up. You look like a dick. So, yeah. Oh, no. Why would you throw I mean, you're playing a game and you got that upset by the game that you threw the Xbox controller. It's like people that destroy their computers because they can't beat the game. And it's like, yeah, have you ever heard the expression, cut your nose off to spite your face? Because that's all you're doing. And then you sit there and go, oh, I broke the telly or I broke the computer, and go, that's going to cost me, isn't it? Yeah. Stupid. Anyway, I got the diesel heater running, so the bakery had heat today, which is useful because Mrs. P's coming down to bake cake tomorrow. Baking a cake for someone tomorrow. So I thought I'd get the diesel heater up and running. So I'll have to go out in the morning and get some diesel because it's just about done. Because I ran it for ages to warm the place up. It was 8 degrees, and when I finished it was at 23. That's not bad. It's not bad. It's a pretty efficient little device and it only used used about 2 litres a litre of diesel. It was a 2 litre tank. It was half full. It used about just under a litre of diesel. So that's pretty cool. That's quite good. Right. What else are we talking about? What else should we talk about? What else have we got on? Let's see if we've got anything on Twitter. Anything exciting happened on Twitter? What did you think of it? Did you watch the UAP here? Well, no, you didn't watch it. Did you maybe watch Ed and I watching or discussing the UAP hearings? What did you think of that? I thought standard fare. Whole thing's a big nothing burger. Absolutely ridiculous. I think there was another one on the 19th as well with the guy who heads up ARROW, the All Domain Anomaly Resolution Office. I don't know what happens to the D, it just disappears. UAP means UFO. They told us nothing because I don't think there's anything to tell us in real terms. Because I think pretty much everything is explainable. And the ones that aren't explainable, they can't explain. If that makes sense, you know. So I don't think they can actually tell us anything, because I don't for an instant think we've got alien technology or aliens. I don't for an instant think there's aliens here. There's just all the evidence stacks up that there are not aliens here from out with the solar system. Okay? So if they're aliens, they're not from out with the solar system. And I don't think there's anybody floating about in the solar system at the moment. Because here's something to think about, right? Because of all the people that see UFOs, who doesn't? You know who doesn't see UFOs? Astronomers. And yet, they're the people staring at the sky all the time. So, yeah. Maybe says something, doesn't it? Maybe. They will not tell you in a private room beats and tapes. They will tell you nothing. You're talking about a skiff. This whole American shit thing is crap. And it's like, is every American an actor? Because when you listen to them, they're all acting. They're all spouting stuff that they've heard in movies. I'm sorry, I can't disclose that because I signed a document 3 years ago that said that I was unable to talk about that. And I can only talk about the things that I've put in my book. So I would need to have that in a private conversation. Well, hold on, you either can talk about it or you can't talk about it. So they're just complete and utter actors. And it's not, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, Amy. I'm just saying every American was born to act. I mean, you guys, every one of you acts out life. You don't live life, you act it out because everything it's like you're playing a part all the time. I mean, you see these guys on TV and they do it all the time. You ask somebody a question and it's as if they've suddenly gone into acting mode because there's a camera on them. It is quite bizarre. I find it strange, It's quite humorous. All the world is a stage, Gunky. All the world is a stage. Now, I'm sure you work, but if somebody put a camera on you, I bet you start acting. I bet you would. I just find Americans quite humorous at times. It's like I mean that guy, what's his name, George Knapp. He was on a podcast the other day. I was listening to him, and if anything, he's probably one of the better ones. But even then, he starts going into. They go into these rants. It's a bit like watching Ben when he goes on his rants. He doesn't necessarily mean it, but he thinks it's good content, so he'll go down it. But so George Knapp, he's quite funny because he went on this rant about them having all this information, and he's been told stuff by such and such and such and such. He's been told fuck all. He's a journalist. Nobody in the Defence Department is going to tell him anything secret. They're just not. If it's secret, he's not going to know it. And, it's like when I was in the police, there are journalists who would try and curry favour with cops. And it just doesn't work. You don't talk to journalists. You just don't talk to them. And cops aren't stupid, generally. Well, they weren't in my day, right? There were some that were, but if there were journalists there, you just don't talk to them. It's quite simple. In fact, we used to get, we were taught at the college how to speak on camera. So every police officer you see has probably been briefed on how to speak to a camera and then put in front of a camera and given lessons on how to, deliver to get the point across that you're investigating. Say, for instance, you're investigating someone's been run over by an HGV and the HGV didn't stop. So you would give the information that you need to get, or you would ask for the information you need to get, and get your point across rather than have the journalists lead it. And they would teach you how to do this. I mean, we had a TV studio and everything. And we got graded on how good we were at it. And then that would go on your record. And when things had to be said to the cameras, they would roll out. They rolled me out once because I was actually quite good at it, believe it or not. So we had a guy run down by an HGV in Govan, and the HGV didn't stop, and they rolled me out and put me on the camera. So there's a lot goes on behind the scenes that you think about, but cops don't talk to journalists. Don't talk to journalists at all. And I'm pretty much sure the military don't talk to journalists either. And these ones that are whistleblowers aren't whistleblowers. They're still working for the government, in my view, because they're still disinformation agents. I mean, Elizondo was a disinformation agent for most of his career. So you're not telling me suddenly not now? Really? And I think you'll find the Elizondo video quite interesting. It's certainly an eye-opener. But wait till you get to the Bob Lazar one. Bob Lazar? How bizarre. He really is. He really is worth a watch. But Elizondo, he really does look like a badly drawn Batman villain. He really does. I just don't I don't have a lot of time for him. So yes, I see that. Gunky, it was working perfectly, mate, but subscriptions only to chat. Right, okay, no, that's cool, because I don't have any subscriptions, so I shouldn't have set that. But it's good to know. Just having a quick look at Twitter there. Ed reposted my post, so you shouldn't have done that because it's finished now, but that's quite interesting. So very good. What about Musk's rocket? Do you think that's a step back? Couldn't catch the booster. But the banana survived. Gimmick. Couldn't catch the booster though, so, and the boosters, all the money's in the booster apparently. Well, you'd think it would be because 33 engines it's got. There's 33 engines just gone down the tubes because they dunked it in the water. Because that's not going to come back in a hurry, is it? What else? What else should we do? What else should we talk about? They fired it up in space. Well, oh, you mean what they did that? They fired up the 32 engines again, and 33 engines in space. Ed is in disarray. He has the painters on, so therefore he has tidied all his stuff away so it doesn't get covered in paint. And you can understand that. So you won't see Ed tonight, and you won't see Ed tomorrow if I come on and talk about stuff. Although I'm talking about an awful lot of stuff. Oh, they fired up the Starship engine. Yeah, they fired that up. Yeah, okay. And they came in at a steeper angle, like nose down. I thought this thing was supposed to be able to land on foreign planets, though. The Starship. Can it not? Maybe I'm wrong. Or maybe I don't know. I don't understand what Musk is doing. And I know I've been quite vocal about it before because I don't think Mars is the right target anyway. But even if you want to go to Mars, you should be doing what Isaac Asimov said, and that is build up industry in space, build a moon base, have factories in space, mine the moon, build the stuff that you're going to take to Mars in space. Why build it on Earth? Why not manufacture it on the moon? Why not make it in 0G? Because it doesn't need to be strong if it's in 0G. It just needs to be able to withstand, the forces of fairly light acceleration and deceleration in real terms. And it won't have to withstand an atmospheric re-entry if you build a lander that can, so build it in space. Then you don't have to throw it through the atmosphere at 25,000 miles an hour through thick air, which is going to heat it up. So, I think it would be, hi Soldier, how you doing, mate? I think it would be quite sensible to do what Isaac Asimov suggested and build up your industries in near-Earth orbit, then in the Earth-Moon system, on the moon, whatever, and then try and tackle a planet, even if you want to take Mars or Titan. I just have a soft spot for Titan. I think it's the one place you want to be to start with, because Saturn's got that magnetic field, but it doesn't have the same amount of radiation that Jupiter puts out. So yeah, it's the place to be. Maybe that. See, I would believe more that we do have a secret space force that is, flying about the solar system, and maybe maybe the joint US-Russian mission to Mars occurred, and there is maybe a moon base on Mars, or they don't want us to go to Mars because we came from Mars. It's a possibility. Maybe life developed on Mars first, and then we migrated to the Earth as things went awry on Mars. Could be that. There's a thing, and someone tried to explain this to me on Twitter, but how does a molten iron core make a magnetic field? Because once you're past the Curie point, iron's not magnetic. So it doesn't matter how fast you're moving it, it's not making a magnetic field because it's past the Curie point. That's the part I don't understand. How can you make a magnetic field out of molten iron? I don't think you can. So how does the Earth have a magnetic field? Anyone, if you can break that one down, let me know. And they'll talk about Coriolis effect and all this, but they're still not addressing the question, which is molten iron will not be magnetic in any form because the atoms are too chaotic. They will not align to produce poles. Therefore, how do you get a magnetic field? Right. Story just breaking that an ambulance has just left Trump's house accompanied by vans of Secret Service. Did somebody get to him? Bloody hell. You're kidding me on. That would be shocking. That would make would that make Vance? That'd make Vance the president, would it? Would he become the president? He would, wouldn't he? Because, the deal's done. It's not like the Democrats get to stay. You don't do a do-over. The deal's done. So, I think Vance would have to be the president. If that's the case. There's one for you as well. So the big rumour is Rachel Reeves is going to resign on Friday. So that's tomorrow. So that should be quite interesting. I think there must have been about 10 or 12 people had already told people that she's going to resign on Friday. So we'll be interested to see what happens. What else? What else has happened? Did you see my new short on Cult of UFO? Have you been watching Cult of UFO? You should go there because I'm putting a lot of effort into these videos and it does seem to be picking up. My latest short is all the questions that should have been asked of Elizondo that he was unable to answer. So that would be quite good if you went along to that. What did anybody watch the Tyson fight? What did you think about it? I woke up, saw that he'd been beaten, thought, yeah, okay. I was thinking set up or something like that. If Tyson was going to win that, he had to take him down. He had to take it down in the first 1 or 2 rounds because he was never going to match him for stamina. The age doesn't come alone. But the last thing to go is the power and the wisdom. So he should have had a big bash at him. Right, he should have taken him out in round 1. He should just have went full-blown mean streak. Full-blown Mike Tyson. And that would probably have done it. I think it might have been Shalini. I mean, Tyson got both. I don't think he needs a lot of money though, but he got anything between 10 and 20 million for that. He's 58, I believe. The British Army has said Ed's just posted that's actually what's wrong with those warmongering crazies. The British Army is in no condition to fight Russia, right? The British Army was asked if the British Army was asked to fight tonight against Russia, it would fight tonight. It says the British Ministry of Defence. That's not very well for the Ministry of Defence to say, but really? You think you could? And it's weird, isn't it? It's weird because, you used to think, ask not what your country can do for you, but ask what you can do for your country. And it's the other way around now, isn't it? Because the country's let you down that many times. Why would you put your life on your line for your country? I wouldn't. I just wouldn't. Because where you are and where your family are, where your heart is isn't necessarily a place. And that place, the actual physical place that you're in, can really be anywhere if you have the right people around you and you have the right attitude. It's not dependent on being in a particular country. We would have stayed in France if we hadn't come back to try and run the business, and unfortunately the business just there seemed to be no saving it. It seemed to be that after COVID nobody would come to the gym, not in the numbers that we needed, and we had less than a third of the numbers that we had prior to COVID. So it's not like the business wasn't viable. It just became non-viable. But these things happen, and you live and learn. Now we just try and make people fat. In fact, my wife's done that. Look how fat I am. I'm that fat that I wasn't even comfortable telling people how heavy I was when I started the thingy. So I just said I was 200 and something pounds. Yeah, Matthew says, and lose by tomorrow. Yeah, the British Army, they wouldn't last long, mate. They wouldn't last long. And that's no denigration of the people, of the soldiers, of the rank and file that are in the British Army, I'm sure. They're doing their bit for what they think is right, but they politically we've gone soft, and we're not up to it anymore. How tall am I? I'm quarter of an inch under 6 foot, if you want me to be completely honest, which is considerably taller than Lou Elizondo. I think the guy's a dwarf. What is it with these people? They really are. They're all dwarfs. All the strange people seem to be dwarfs. But yeah, what's happening with Trump? I don't know. I'm not seeing anything on the tweets. Let me see. There's nothing trending about it. Go and have a look, Shalini. Come back to us. Matt Gaetz has resigned. We knew that. UK Army ready to confront Russia in Eastern Europe. Oh, did you see Starmer's tweet today when he actually mentioned BlackRock? Have these guys got no fucking conception of what they're talking about or who they're dealing with? Yeah, and apparently Starmer's going to nationalise your railways, I think, but you know what? It doesn't work up here. Railways are shit since the SNP took them over. I mean, they actually weren't bad when they were running on their own, but now they're crap, and they're like 3 times more expensive, which is crazy. Trump is okay. Whew. Soldier says, all clear. Trump is okay. Yeah, he did. He mentioned BlackRock, Shalini, in a tweet. Yes, Starmer is. I just didn't expect him to come in like some kind of, well, like Stalin. I mean, really, the guy hasn't laid off since he came in. He thinks he's Stalin. I think he thinks this is it. He is now the de facto leader of the UK and will never be replaced until he dies. I think that's what he's trying to go for. Stalin's the same age as me. What's this? How come people are just now realising that Uncle Tom charity thing was all a scam? Come on. I mean, when you saw the poor guy trotting round the fucking house, you knew it was a scam there and then, didn't you? I mean, I certainly did. I mean, I remember tweeting about it. You'll never find them, though, because, you know, some accounts disappear, don't they? But yeah. How are people just realising the whole charity thing for Uncle Tom was a scam now? People really do walk about with their head buried in the sand, don't they? I think it's this thing they don't want to. They don't want to be told the truth because then they'd have to face it. So they'd rather go about, just believing everything's all right. Yeah, everything's all right. That's great. I'll just go and do this. I'll go and do that. It's just like, just bury your head in the sand, carry on, be content. That's it. Right, what else is on? So the stream was looking good. Let me see if there's any of my bookmarks I want to chat about. Oh, back to Elizondo. He get caught again. He was doing another presentation, another ticket at the event in Missouri, I think. And what was it? He put up a UFO picture of a large black triangle that the guy who made it in 2011 has already been on in 2011 and said it was actually just a hoax. So he put it up and purported it to be real. The guy's unbelievable. He really is. Right. So where are we? Yeah, it was a great way to honour your father, wasn't it, DW? You're right. I might come on and do it all in tomorrow because there's quite a lot of crap happened, hasn't there? There really is. Right. What else do we talk about? Anything else we want to talk about today? Oh, Jesus! I was gonna correct the community note today because somebody said that there was a community note saying that Scott Ritter was a twice convicted sex offender, and that's not true. He was only convicted once. If you're going to say these things, you really should be right. Nah, it's bedtime, isn't it, surely? Yeah. Aye, we've done, good grief, we've done nearly an hour. Right, so I might try, Pearson dropped, Tate dropped. What's happened, Gunky? Pearson dropped, Tate, what's Pearson? You'll need to educate me, mate. I don't know. Apparently that wasn't an ICBM, by the way, that was fired. That was apparently an intermediate range missile. It wouldn't make sense to fire an ICBM next door, unless it was a show off. That could have been a nuke powered one. Oh. Ah, right. Yeah, well, I thought the Tates were going to get off with it. Ben was the other way. Ben said they were going to be made an example of. I had long said that the Tates were going to get off with it because I don't think you could prove anything that they'd actually done was wrong, because their witnesses weren't saying it, you know. And Alison Pearson, who was being investigated by Essex, her case has been dropped. Yeah, well, that's the police need to stop this. This is not, this whole hate speech online shit is crap, because that's like the police pulling you up for having an argument in a pub where nothing happened. You know, nothing happened. So, yeah, I'm not impressed with the way that I think we're back to where we were last week when we said that the police need to be depoliticised, because this is a political decision that's been made for the police to be involved in these things, because this isn't a police matter. You know, the whole thing. I mean, if you want to be offended, be offended. You know, it's not your right not to be offended. It's your right to be offended, but it's not your right not to be offended. And you can't make laws that make it. You can't make laws that are predicated on, you know, the law being complete by the person by the person who is supposed to be the victim feeling. You know that's just open to abuse left, right, and centre. These kind of laws are stupid, and you know, I think Scotland's probably the worst for it. But I don't care. I'm not cowed down to this crap, because that's not something you can stand up. You can lie down to, because that is a fundamental human right. It really is. They do crash into human rights. You're right, Gunky. You're right. Yeah, and you're probably right, Matthew, that we are becoming no different to communists. But that's what you'd expect, though, from effectively a communist, because I know people say Starmer's not a communist. He is. He is a communist. He was a communist when he was young, and he's never lost that. He's never lost that drive. He's just hidden it. That's my view. The guy's a communist. So, and you know what? It's like you can see it in everything they do, because look at him posting pictures of himself sitting in the plane coming back from Rio de Janeiro or whatever on his Todd. You know, he is setting himself. He's another Kim Jong-un. That's what he is. He is a complete and utter dictator. It's pretty sick, you know. Anyway, thank you for coming along tonight. Remember, like, share, subscribe. I think I'll probably try putting out again on Twitter tomorrow and see how it goes. And till then, have a nice night. Oh, by the way, how did you find the start without any intro? Because everybody seemed to jump in pretty quick. But as always, I love you all. Take care. Good night.